Hey, I'm Tobias Wilhelm. Today we're going to talk about how to motivate employees and make them better people. All right, so I talk to a lot of business owners that are looking for either better employees or they're looking for employees that are better motivated, that work harder. Now, I think some of the problem is that people don't take the time to understand what actually motivates people. Let me start here. Money is a really bad motivator for getting anybody to do anything. So if you have somebody, let's say I want you to help me move a sofa tomorrow, and I'm like, hey, can you help me move a sofa? Then you're going to sit there and you're like, Tobias is a nice guy. Yeah, I'll probably help you. If I'm like, hey, can you help me move a sofa tomorrow? I'll pay you $5. Then all of a sudden you're insulted that it's only $5 and you're like, I have better things to do or whatever else. So as soon as I introduce money into the equation, everything changes. And that's basically what happens with employees. So even if I'm paying you $10, $15 an hour, if you sit there and you're like, okay, so let me break it down, that's 25 cents a minute. Who wants to do anything for 25 cents a minute? It doesn't sound like very much, and that's some of the problem. So people don't understand what motivates people. So if you think about it, some of the most motivated people on the planet are our military, and they work for very little money because they have something that they actually believe in that motivates them, that is way beyond money. It's about honor and everything else. You want to give people something that they can believe in and something that they can get behind, and usually money has absolutely nothing to do with it. So it might be the cause that you want to help people, or it might be the product that they believe in, or they might believe in you as a leader, but none of that has anything to do with money. Now, we'll get to money in a minute because there's some things that you can do to motivate people that actually are somewhat not money related, but they are. But when it comes down to motivating people to work for you, the biggest driver is always going to be you need to be the leader. And I think it was one of the World War II generals that said you can't push a string from the back, you have to pull it from the front. And that's really what it comes down to. So you have to be out front, you have to motivate your employees from there. Now, sometimes we have people that are like, okay, so people want raises and whatever else, and then you give them a raise and then they come back, and that's because a lot of people are looking for praise a whole lot more than they're looking for a raise. So if you're coming to me and you're like, hey, what about I haven't had a raise in a while? A lot of people are just looking for me to say, hey, you know what, you're doing a good job. And you have to make that a habit with your employees to go through your business, and if you see somebody that's doing something that's been done right or being done outstanding, you want to actually pat them on the back, you want to take a minute and say, hey, you know what, I think you're doing an outstanding job that is more than a raise will ever do. Now, if you're one of those small businesses, and unfortunately a lot of times small businesses can't pay the biggest wages and they can't compete with health insurance and everything else, but sometimes you can offer sort of perks that are not necessarily something that is directly money related. For example, if I have an employee that does a good job, maybe I can pay them for a gym membership. Gym membership is going to cost me $20 a month. $20 a month comes down to $5 a week, which comes down at a 40-hour week to 25 cents an hour. If I'm saying, hey, Tobias, I'm giving you extra 25 cents an hour, you're like, yeah, whoop-de-doo. If I'm like, hey, by the way, you get a free gym membership, you're like, woohoo! So that's really what it comes down to. You want to find things that motivate people that are sort of these fringe benefits, whether it's, every once in a while a gift card to a restaurant, or free gym memberships, or things that are really kind of nice to have that people don't really necessarily buy for themselves, but that are really valuable and that make me feel good and make me feel good about being a great employee. So when you do things like that, that is what really motivates people. The other thing that you need to do is you really need to understand people's personality. If I'm a people person, you stick me by myself in an office, I'm probably not going to be happy and I'm not going to be very productive. If you have a person that is single task oriented and you ask them to do multitask oriented things like operate a computer and answer their phone and make copies and everything at the same time, they're not going to be very productive and they're not going to be very happy. That's why I'm a big believer in testing. There are psychological tests that you can give employees. The predictive index is one of them. They have many others where you can understand your employee and you can match the job that they have to the personality that they have, and that's really important. So I think between understanding what motivates people, understanding the people themselves, and being able to give them motivation and fringe benefits, I think that is what makes better employees, and it makes your employees much, much more productive. I hope you learned something in this video. If you have any questions or comments, I would love to see them below. If you want to see more of these, please subscribe. And this is Tobias Wilhelm. I will see you next time.